So I'm going to talk about some differences between the offline and the online that I've picked for today. And the first one is the anonymous screen. So there is evidence that the screens feel quite anonymous for people. If you think about it, the screen doesn't judge you. Isn't that nice? You could tell it anything, and it still doesn't judge you. It's not as good as your dog, doesn't have a tail, doesn't wig, but it's as good as it gets. And there are, I might start actually with an anecdote, and then I'll talk about the research. So a good friend of mine, his daughter decided to commit suicide, and on his birthday. And she wouldn't tell anyone. She didn't tell her girlfriends. She didn't tell the parents. She wouldn't tell anyone. But she actually didn't mind posting it on Facebook with all of the details, how she would do it, where she would do it. Now, obviously, she wanted help. And obviously, she's smart enough to understand that by posting it on Facebook, all of her friends and the parents would know. But she was more comfortable doing it that way than actually talking to someone. And this is not very unusual. If you actually Google it, it's actually a pretty common phenomena that teenagers who want help and kind of are in a bad place and thinking about suicide would ask for help online, despite the fact that everyone will eventually know, as opposed to having one-on-one discussion. So this is, in a sense, the anonymous screen. And the flavor of that is interesting because you do have an opportunity to help if the screen is anonymous and people are comfortable sharing all of those stress and problems and challenges. So, drinking. People are a lot more likely to tell you that they drink too much if you give them an iPad when they wait to see the doctor, as opposed to actually asking them face-to-face. They might know that all this information is going to the doctor, but for some reason they're comfortable answering those questions on a screen. The doctor cannot help unless the information is there. Doctors are uncomfortable asking. So you can imagine now a world where, depending on the situation, we collect information on digital displays because they're more anonymous and we'll get the right answers. And this would have a lot of implications, actually, for financial institutions, which I'm more familiar with probably than any other industry. Think about the market for annuities. So people give all of their lifetime savings in exchange for a stream of income for as long as they live. In some countries, like the UK, they have enhanced annuities, which are for people who have health issues. The more you drink, the more obese you are, the more health issues you had, heart attacks, etc., the better the deal you're going to get from an insurance company, because you're not going to live very long. So the monthly payment for the short period you're going to live are going to be higher. So it's in your best interest to disclose everything and almost exaggerate. But people are uncomfortable actually admitting the bad behaviors or the misbehaviors, to use Taylor's term. And that is a problem because you can't have an efficient market for the annuities if people are hiding information. So imagine now that the insurance companies would provide you with digital displays to disclose the answers. And now we could better price it. But it creates another set of challenges now. Should financial institutions start pricing annuities and other insurance products differently if people provided the answers on an iPad versus pen and paper versus a human agent versus a different digital device? And, these are important questions.